Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're a little bit late in getting this one underway thanks to the epic levels of rain the UK is experiencing at the minute. The whole country has come to a standstill. Yeah, so it's caused absolute chaos. So we're with the NGR VW Cup right now, so I'm just going to get qualifying underway and then I'll get the link shared out and get some viewers hopefully. So I'll just do that. Copy link. Get this on the NGR page. Next Gen Racing. So let me do that and I'll come back to you 1 second. Show someone's actually going on the track. Right, and so as you can see, we're at glorious Goodwood in a lovely summer's evening. Yeah, glorious summer's evening. Yada yada yada. Goodwood's a track that, with the NGR boys especially, has just always produced some absolute killer racing. They've always brought it to the party. I got some boys that really enjoy the track, some that don't like it as much, so we should be in for a good 20-minute race. Yeah, we'll see what's going on as we just watch Fraser get underway with his flying lap. So we're going to do 10 minutes qualifying, and then we're into a 20-minute sprint race. The good thing I like about, to try and get a track guide up, because I can never remember the names of Goodwood. The good thing about this race, they're all running the same tyres. They've got no tyre wear or fuel depletion to worry about. They are literally just racing and sprinting to the line. So we'll see what these guys have got to offer as far as a driver test goes. So the qualifying's only 10 minutes. A lap at Goodwood, a minute and a bit, I think. So we should get enough laps in qualifying to set a representative pace, and the race is just long enough to make it interesting without being boring and producing too much field spread. So yeah. 7 drivers in tonight, a lot of the regulars, so we're watching F124YS at this minute in time. We will flick through the pack in qualifying and give everyone a bit of a look, see what they're running, and we'll just watch Fraser set his lap. So he's a 1:12.4, Burnfly's a 1:14.5, KZ2 1:13.8, 1:13.4 for Hasser. Burnfly Shadow Stalker's next across the line. He's at 1:16.9. We're going to watch Fourfish. Fourfish is someone very quick in this league, so he's potentially going to put in a decent time. I do love the matte black on that car. So he's got a 1:12.4 to beat. He smashes in a 1:12.7, which is not a bad lap time at all. Biggs is still on his out lap, so he's got out the pits late. Shadow Stalker's going through his lap, so we'll give everyone a little bit of coverage. So F124YS, aka Fraser Smith, currently doing very well in this championship. I am going to update a point standings for you, I'm afraid, because like I said, I'm running a little bit behind. Evening Burnfly. Bad Marshall, how are you between fits of vomiting, mate? I hope you're feeling better, buddy. It's a shame you're not racing this one tonight. As we've seen, Fourfish, who put in a decent lap. He's also doing very well in the championship. A nice, reliable driver, one of my drivers of the day. Has put in some really good performances before, so we know he can push the big boys around. Lightblade, aka Bobby, again someone who is usually in the mix, fighting at the top. KZ2 Haas has recently made his mini debut as well as KZ2 Haas, so he's now becoming a cross series racer rather than just racing in the Siroccos. This is his stomping ground though, this is where he loves to race, so we'll see what he can put in. As we see Bigsy finally set a lap time of 1:39. There he is. Bigsy, you've still not explained that livery to me, mate. Do I have to go on OnlyFans and find out who Cello is? Am I going to get my search history sort of looked into by the authorities? And then who can... why can we not... You know, we've got to give Burnfire a shout. We've got to give Burnfire some love. As he mullers the track, but that's a 1:31 in the process. Lightblade puts it on 1:31 as well, so 700ths of a second behind those two. Lightblade and Burnfire pretty evenly matched all over the shop, to be fair. Burnfire's livery is a debut this week. Bright electric pink. Hooters, sponsored by Hooters. Let's see if I can go on board with it. I'll be honest, I designed this, so it's not going to be very good. Can I go chase cam? There we go, chase cam. So the old Gandalf, you shall not pass on the back. You just got passed by a girl on the other side. Hooters makes you happy. Got Next Gen Racing on there as well, just to give them a shout. So when you go on boot cam and do that, when it won't let me do it. It will in the race, it doesn't in it. Yeah, that's Burnfire's new liveries. He's going with personal best time. He's got a couple of minutes left in this one, so we'll see if he manages to improve. He's coming towards the end of the lap now. Good that you're feeling better, Rob. Glad to hear it, mate. Does Burnfire improve? He does a good second, 1:12.5, just a tenth and a half behind Fraser. Lightblade does improve as well, but not by an awful lot. He stays in fourth. Stonking lap by Burnfire, that mate, to be so close to Fraser. Fraser's not managed to really grind himself up too much, but he is on a personal best time. In the race, we'll give you a bit of a lap of Goodwood. We've raced here a few times before, so anyone semi-regular to the channel will be familiar with this iconic British racing circuit. It is of course more famous for things like the Goodwood Revival, Festival of Speed, basically built around an old World War II airbase. It's still as I smashed my controller on the floor, it's still an active airfield. As I span out. Sorry, I've just dropped my controller. And Fraser Bentley. And Fraser Bentley. So Fourfish then is on improved times as well, so he's doing a better lap. He's just come through. Is this Levant or St Mary's? I think this is a Levant straight, I think. Burnfire improves again. A couple of hundredths better in that lap. Fourfish looks to be improving also. So we're getting there, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting there. KZ2 Haas improves 1:35. Go on, full send Fourfish, go on. Oh, yes mate, that's what I like to see. Does he improve jump Burnfire? No, but he closes him down. He's probably got another 2 laps left in this session yet, so Fourfish knows where his time is and he'll be pushing to get on the front row of the grid. Lightblade then, he's just coming through onto the Levant straight now. There is a timing sector at the end of this straight, so we might see how he's doing. I've never been to Goodwood, Marshall, no. It's bad that I don't actually know geographically in the country where it is as well. Should know that. Lightblade is down on his time, by the way. KZ2 Haas was up. Is he up in this one? No, he's down. Biggsy's sat doing nothing. Burnfire improves his time yet again. He's just chopping little bits of time out of Fraser. All the while that's making this man's job all the more difficult. He is 2 taps down on his best time yet though, so he's running out of time. And then Shadowstalker. I love Shadowstalker. He's one of the most patient players. He just plugs away at it. I've got to love his attitude, to be fair. I've got to applaud it. As we just watch him come through the chicane. Does Shadowstalker improve on his time? No, that's not an improved time for Shadowstalker. Bigsy's sort of bailed out of this one. So I guess we'll see if Mr. Burntfry can improve. No, you're not going to improve doing that, mate. Lightblade was on an improved time. Set to 2. So it might be worth keeping an eye on Lightblade and see if this, as it comes across. So he's finished. That's going to be it. Is this an improvement? It has to be half a tenth. But it is a personal best time, but it's not enough to boost him. So he does start second low with the grid. KZ2 has, unless he pulls something magic out of the bag here, which he doesn't, I'm afraid. He's going to start on the third row of the grid with Bigsy. And Shadowstalker bringing up the rear. But your pole sitter, ladies and gentlemen, is Fraser Smith. 1 minute 12.4. And it's very likely that we'll see these sort of race times in the race as well, because they've not got tyre wear or anything daft like that. West Sussex. I'll try and blag tickets through work, because work sponsor a ton of motorsports things, which is why I get to go to the F1 and stuff like that. So I'll see if I can butter them up. Yeah, but Fraser, mate, that's not an excuse. How many times have you raced Goodwood in different series? I'm not having that, mate. I'm not having it. You're better than that. Don't come out with the excuses. I've seen 250 GTOs at the revival. Oh, mate, I bet they sound like God gargling. Yeah, Burntfry, you need to have a mini race here. Another one like that, please. That would be awesome. Right, good luck to all the drivers. Let me know in the comments who you're cheering for or who you're cheering against. Is there someone you're hoping bins it into the chicane on the last lap? Burntfry, are you hoping just for some clean, fun VW German action? So we're about to get underway. It's a 20-minute, I want to say endurance race, but 20 minutes hardly endurance. Away we go. Burntfry in the barrier, yeah, definitely Rob, definitely Rob. I'll tell you what, he's got a good start. He's just tucked in. All good so far. Got a bit of lag in this. Everyone seems to be lagging. Well, not everyone actually, because Shadowstalker's fine, so that tells me it's not a room glitch. And if it's a room glitch, it's everyone. But at the minute, it's just seeming to be Fraser who's skipping about a little bit. We'll keep an eye on that as we just see. I think it's Bigsy going on an adventure. We'll come back to that and see how that one plays out. But that is going to hurt him. Fraser's leading away from Burntfry at the minute. Fourfish is not far behind, but Lightblade is putting him under a little bit of pressure. KZ2 has hanging on to fifth. Bigsy's clung on to a sixth position at the minute, but he's lost a little bit of time to the boys up ahead. Burntfry then looking for a move on Fraser, but Fraser's blocks where he needs to be and parks his car on the apex. Fraser though gets a really bad exit. Burntfry backs out of the move on the chicane, probably sensible, and just clips the barrier. And that's going to let Fourfish by, and maybe Lightblade. That bit on the track just loses you so much momentum. And that's Burntfry from second to fourth in the space of one corner, but he's got plenty of time to make that back up. Fraser's not really escaping him. Fraser's only 1.1 seconds up the road, remember. So let's have a quick look at what happened to Bigsy a little bit earlier on. So this is a replay of lap 1 of the race. Bigsy's chasing down Lightblade, just overcooks it coming into St Mary's. I think looking at it, yeah, just gets it a little bit wide. And off he goes on an adventure. And back up to the action then. Burntfry has managed to get past Lightblade somewhere along the lines. Let's see if we can capture what happened with that. So this is a replay of the move that Burntfry would have made on Lightblade just a few minutes ago that we missed while we were watching Bigsy. Looks like Lightblade, yeah, just ran it a little bit wide. And Bertfire just took advantage up into second as well. There's been an issue somewhere. F124YS has had an issue. We're going to have a look at this. Fourfish is in the lead right now, but let's have a look, see what happened to Fraser. So he's in the lead. And just overcooks it into T1. Not T1, the last turn. The last turn. And that, unfortunately, it's not a game over a moment, like we've seen with Bertfire, who lost out and is now in second place. He's now chasing down Fourfish, Fraser down in fourth, Lightblade in third, Kaiser2 has in fifth, Bigsy and Shadowstalker in fifth and sixth respectively at the minute, but the fighting is for first place. Fourfish being feverishly chased down by Katy Perry, Taylor Swift and Maria Sharapova that are on the front of the Hooters cars. They're not official Hooters girls, but they are poster girls for that series. Fourfish is going to be feeling the pressure of those three hotties breathing down the fat arse of that Sirocco. Bertfire's going to be good to hold a move around the outside here. It's not really big enough for two cars, but you may, oh, it's a beautiful move if you can make that. It's an overtake and a half. I'm sorry, if I had a hat, I'd take it off, mate. I've replayed that. We're going to come back and look at that in just a minute's time. Flick through the rest of the pack. Looks like Bigsy has stacked it into the chicane, unfortunately. I'm not going to reset my replay markers because I want to have another look at this move that Bertfire made on Fourfish. So he got the overdrive essentially using the slipstream. Looks like it broke just a tiny bit later. And held it all the way around the outside. And Fourfish could do nothing about it. Well, let's see if we capture what happened to Bigsy on the same replay. It might just cut off before anything happens. We'll have a look. I think he just gives up. Oh, bless you, mate. Meanwhile, there's stuff going on all over the place. Bertfire's lost out to Fourfish now. Oh, he's run himself off the track. What are you doing, man? It's not a lawnmower, Bertfire, it's a bloody car. Right, I need to check in with Fraser. How's he getting on? So, I think he's stuck, you know. I think Fraser's stuck in a bit of a battle. So I'm just replying to a funny text. Yeah, Bigsy's bounced. I don't think he could be bothered with it. Bertfire's back up past Fourfish. Did I miss that while I was reading the text? Bad commentator. I've missed it. Oh well, you know what? I've covered your overtake already, mate. What more do you want? Bugger off. Fourfish is having a very eventful race right now. He's led the race at one point. Has had battles for first. Rob, you'll have to let me know if Bertfire is shouting from wherever he's doing the race from, because he's had to work for this one so far. Fraser's lack of practice is showing. That is sandbagging and saving all his moves to the end of the race, but considering he got the best qualifying time, I was really expecting him to be putting in a bit of a better show than this as he takes his Sirocco over the grass. Fourfish though does the same, and that's going to be game over for Fourfish, I'm afraid. He's going to send it through, but that's going to cost him an absolute bucket load of time, so that's given Bertfire a little bit of breathing space. Fraser's now going to get a little bit of a run on Lightblade. He's going to send it around the outside. Lovely move, Fraser. We did get that one captured. Let's go back and have a look at what happened to Fourfish. So a lot of action then just at the end of that lap. So yeah, just got it on the grass. It was really hard to get the car back on track when that happened. He did bail out of it. And then we'll just switch to the move that Fraser made on Lightblade. Around the outside of T1. You can take this corner quite quick anyway, but to get two cars past here at Goodwood is an achievement. So the work Fraser's got to do now is he's got 12 minutes to chase Bertfire down. There's 1.6 seconds up the road. Bertfire will be sweating from places he didn't know he had now as he's seen Fraser's name pop up on the timer screens behind him. Lightblade will be trying to cease him in his tracks and will want second place back. Lightblade's had a really clean race so far, to be fair. He's kept himself out of trouble. KZ2 has benefited from 4Fish's error, but again, like Lightblade, has kept it nice and clean. 4Fish, brilliant race so far. One unfortunate error. Unfortunately, that couldn't, as I've bloody experienced this countless times, that can sometimes define your race. Shadowstalker is still running around there. Yeah, good lad, Shadowstalker, mate. I honestly can't praise you enough. So the battle for second then, Lightblade is all over Fraser like a fat kid on a cupcake. Fraser hasn't really managed to pull away from him yet. Although I say that he immediately pulls 2 temps. This is allowing Burntfly to escape, and it's probably wise at this stage to use the fact that Fraser's occupied to start and just try and pull a little bit of a gap, because what you don't want is to be under pressure, certainly by Fraser, for too long. What these boys have proved though is they can have good close racing, and they've done that many times before, as Lightblade has a much better chicane than Fraser and immediately pulls those 2 temps back. Right on him. So this is sort of the view that Fraser will have right now. His mirrors are going to be full of Lightblade's car as he come into the St Mary's complex, as I call it. Lightblade did think about a move there. Looks like he backed out of it. Probably wise. Ain't never going to get a move made down there, my friend. 4Fish meanwhile has managed to get past KZ2. I'm not sure if KZ2 made an error somewhere along the line, but 4Fish is 1.3 seconds ahead, so I'm going to guess that was an error. I'm sure you boys will correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. You haven't heard a swear word yet, Rob. Just wait, mate. Just you wait. There we go. Bet there was one there, wasn't there? Bet there was one there. He's going to be losing speed all the way down the main straight, the start-finish straight. Fraser though can't take full advantage of that, although he does lump a second off his time quite easily. Burntfly though currently the holder of the fastest lap. Fraser's not able to fully concentrate on what he's doing. His Lightblade going for a move. Again, catches him in the St Mary's complex. It's just not a place that you can make a move cleanly. You're always going to have contact there, and what you don't want to do is send one of these cars off into a barrier somewhere. That would just be disastrous for all involved. Duct tape put over his car. I mean, you need to sometimes. I love how I can make it do that. Anyway, let's have a bit of a recap. So we are 11 minutes into the NGR VW Cup. See Fraser's get a little bit wrong. Is he going to overcook it into the champagne chicane? No, he holds it, but Lightblade is going to have a little bit of a run on him now coming into T1. We've seen moves made down here. The problem for Lightblade now is Fraser's going to be getting slipstream from Burntfly because he has took more time out of him. Hey up, Hunty, how you doing, mate? I see you've entered the GT3 series with Mature Racing Club. I can't wait to punt you off. So yeah, anyway, as I was saying, now we're nearly 12 minutes into the NGR VW Cup, and Burntfly leads this one after having not the most impressive start to the race, but he's just capitalised on errors and he's run it really smoothly since then. Made a brilliant overtake for the lead. Fraser's had some trouble in this one, so he's not had an ideal race. He'll probably be a little bit angry with himself, but all that being said, he's still in second at this minute in time and challenging for first position. Has managed to drop Lightblade in third a little bit. Lightblade's had a great race so far, kept it really clean, consistent, and has again just advantaged from other people's errors. Full Fish will probably be a little bit mad at that error that he made on the chicane, but ever since then he's overtook KZ2 Haas. Probably a little bit too far back from Lightblade and the rest to make a genuine sort of challenge for the lead or anything like that, especially with the time remaining. It's not a long enough lap really. KZ2 Haas running in 5th, Full Fish is beginning to drop him a little bit, and Shadowstock is lapping around in 6th position at this minute in time. I don't want to take my eyes off this though. Three-way battle for first. This is definitely worth us keeping an eye on now. So Burnt Fire's been promised a free XL box of barbecue wings at Hooters as part of their new sponsorship deal for this year. So we'll be racing his heart out for that one. We've been told since the deal's been signed that they're using up more tissue paper in the Burnt Fry household. Burnt Fry running far too much speed in the chicane. He's going to run it wide. That's going to give Fraser a run coming into turn 1. You can see how powerful the overspeed is there. Burnt Fry immediately goes defensive, but we know moves can be made around the outside. Burnt Fry again just blocking the line. Fraser taking a really dangerous line around the outside. Tucks back into the slipstream. Puts his car immediately on the inside. Burnt Fire's trying to shut that door, but it's too late. Fraser's going to make that move done coming into the St Mary's complex. Burnt Fire tries desperately to hold on to his position, but ultimately has to let Fraser take that place. Lightblade sniffing like a vulture. Let's use vulture. Sniffing out dead prey. Burnt Fire's not dead yet though. He's looking to come back on Fraser. He gets a really bad exit. And he does that little bit of door banging, but that's okay. No one really suffered out of that one. Coming onto the Levant straight, Fraser's just giving a bit of a flash of the lights. I don't think he's happy with that. We'll have a review of that move. And just see if we're happy with it. So we're on board Burnt Fry's car. So Burnt Fry didn't keep his nose in, but as you can tell he backed out before we got to the really dangerous bit of St Mary's. I don't know if the replay will capture Burnt Fry's move back on Fraser. I'm not sure we will. It gives him a little bit of a nudge there, sends him wide. Yeah, I can probably see why Fraser's a little bit annoyed at that. I've got to be brutally honest with you. That being said though, he's still in the fight. Fraser's flashing his lights furiously at him. Lightblade is less than a second behind the leader, so the top 3 all within. You could literally throw a towel over these guys and you'd capture them all under it. Master of punts, yeah mate, you will always be the master of punts, or is that master of cunt? Oh wait, no, I can't say that on stream. So Fraser's got back past him. Kind of seemed like Burnt Fire let him go. Yeah, he did. He let him go. Whether he just decided that the move he made earlier on was unfair. Either way, we do love sportsmanship. As Fraser just gets it wrong again, Burnt Fire gets a little bit of a tap from Lightblade, but that again there's nothing in that. It's just what happens when you've got 3 cars racing this close. GR3 League starting tomorrow? I don't think it is. I think it's next Friday. But we can check that, mate. We can check. So Fraser then currently leading the race, but Burnt Fry is literally on his backside, and when I say literally, I mean literally. As he goes for a move, again coming into the entrance of St Mary's complex. This is the first legitimate place you can make a move here. A little bit of a door bang. Fraser does go wide. Fraser has to get out of it. Again, not too happy with that one. Lightblade then promoted up in second with Burnt Fry in first. Fraser currently running third, Full Fish in fourth, KZ2 Haas in fifth, Shadowstock in sixth. I'm sorry guys that you've not had too much coverage, but hopefully when you watch this you will realise that this has been it's just been worth covering up at the front, because these guys have been going at it hammer and tong. Lightblade then gets it done on Burnt Fry into the last turn. I said the last turn before the chicane. Let's go for that. So Burnt Fry sticking on the back of Lightblade. Fraser's 1.1 seconds behind, so we'll be getting a tiny bit of slipstream. from the cars in front. The problem is now with Fraser, he could be driving angry. We saw him flashing his lights a minute ago. That's usually a sign that you're annoyed, especially on GT Sport. Doesn't look to be driving particularly angry, to be fair, at this minute in time, but we all know what happens when the red mist descends. Lightblade then is currently having to defend Burnt Fry. Doing a good job of it at this minute in time, to be fair. We do know how fast the guys are behind him, but he's not got long left, and we are approaching a back marker. So we're on the Levant Straight, and Shadowstalker's just gone around the chicane now, so they could end up catching him. Is Burnt Fry going to go for the send round the outsides? I think he's going to try it, you know. He holds it in, but he's going to have to back out for the chicane. He does. Sensible. So Burnt Fry's still in second. Fraser's caught up with these guys now. He's chunked 6 temps out of them since this time last lap. So I guess the good thing for Fraser, if these boys ahead keep fighting, he's got time to capitalise, because I think they are going to get round the start-finish straight again. So this is the penultimate lap, lap 16. Timing-wise, the race should end by the end of lap 17. So Fraser again, just keeping it nice, consistent, and he's pulled right up to the back of Burnt Fry. Burnt Fry and Lightblade having a good old ding-dong battle still. Again, the top 3 cars separated by, the top 3 separated by 2 tenths of a second. 20 minutes into a race. 2 tenths, less than a tenth and a half. Fraser's going for a move on Burnt Fry then. I think looking at that, it looked like Burnt Fry just pulled out of it. Oh, but is he going to capitalise? I've replay marked that. Nice to see. Lightblade makes it through, Fraser makes it through, Burnt Fry then makes it through as well. Something happened there that the cameras didn't pick up that well. So let's go on board Burnt Fry's car and just see what it looks like. It just got a little bit squirrely on the exit to this corner. Overspeed from Fraser. And then it was side by side. Burnt Fry backs it, yeah, Burnt Fry just backs out of that. Didn't want any part of that. So Burnt Fry in third, Fraser in first. Unfortunately that has split the battle right up. Lightblade currently winning that. Fraser is chasing him down. He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 corners left to do it. If you want to call them corners, I'm classing some little kinks in the circuit as corners there. So desperate times, desperate measures for Fraser coming onto Levant Straight. This is the end of here is his best overtaking opportunity by a country mile. He's well within the slipstream, and he pokes his car to the inside. Lightblade forces him to go wide. Not sure what happened there. Looks like Lightblade just got it a little bit wide. Fraser's slowing down. So I think what happened there, and I'm not going to have time to go back and look at it because the race will probably finish in the time. So Lightblade first, Fraser second, Burnt Fry third, Fish fourth, Shadowstalker finishes 6th, and KZ2 Haas is going to come through. Yeah, looking at that, Fraser just, I think, just gave Lightblade a little bit of a nudge, I think. And because he did that, he backed out of the move. Wow. Wow. Yeah, wow. My G. So, bloody hell, Lightblade, well done. What a race, mate. What a race. Let me just save that replay because I'm going to have a good thumbnail coming out of that bad boy. Yeah, Fraser, I thought I caught that on a replay that you, I think you just gave him a little bit of a nudge. Nothing intentional, of course. We know you race clean. Yeah. What a blooming race. Goodwood always provides good action. Whatever race series you bring to it, for some reason it just promotes the sort of racing that we all love to watch. Mad Marshall, still no swearing. I'm disappointed at that. I wanted him to be furiously shouting at his TV screen like an impotent child. But hats off to Burntfly. Yeah, there was a couple of little nudges with Fraser that questionable. Of course, rubbing his racing, as they all say. And I'll be honest, Fraser's one of the boys that he doesn't mind a little bit of nudging as long as it's fair. But arguably, did it cross that line? But then on the other hand, Burntfly let him through afterwards. I think he realised that that was probably a little bit of an unfair move. I'll just let him back past. Fourfish, a good race for Fourfish as well. Will be disappointed to have not been involved in that, because Fourfish is another driver who could have easily got involved in that carnage. But unfortunately just made a little bit of an error, so that's counted him out. KZ2 Hassett, another one. I'm not sure if he just doesn't like the track, but again, just wasn't really in the mix, I'm afraid. Yeah, Fraser, I think that there was the old little bit of rubbing and door banging and all that sort of stuff, but let's be honest, mate, it's going to happen, especially at Goodwood. Because the way you get moves done here, mate, as you know, is you have to be close to the car in front, because you can't. There's no big braking zones here. You can't exactly just send it, so you're going to have to be close in order to get the move done. And you and Burntfly know that. So there we go. Anyway, that was the NGR VW Cup, ladies and gents, live from Goodwood. We'll see what that has, what implications that has in the championship. I'll try and give a recap next week, because hopefully next week I should have tables and all that sort of stuff. So I'll give everyone a little bit of an update as to how it's going. Meanwhile, next in the NGR VW Cup, next up we pack up the cars into the trailers and we fly them off to Japan for the short version of the Autopolis circuit. After that, we pack them back into their air crates and fly them over to Italy. They're going to be driving over at Monza, the no chicane version, so Slipstream City. And then the grand finale at Brands Hatch, where it all boils down to. So as the drivers exit the room to go and do their bits and bobs. Not happy with that race. Burntfly, why, mate? Why aren't you happy? I had to have my elbows out a few times. Can't complain about rubbing anyway. I had great fun. Yeah, and that's what it's all about, mate. You know what I mean? As long as it's fun. Because I think, although there was one or two sort of things that happened in that race that, in a perfect world didn't happen. But I think every time Burntfly did sort of do a move like that, he let you back through afterwards. So you can't say fairer than that, to be honest. You can't really fault him for wanting to make the most out of the race, I guess. Made too many mistakes, maybe so, but you know what, that happens, mate. Burntfly is a track that will punish that sort of stuff, so I won't sweat it too much. Bad Marshall's deaf. I was effing and blinding. I thought you might be. I did think you'd be feverishly swearing at your telly. Right, I'll be on our racing next week. So, are you racing here next week? At Autopolis, Fraser? Let me know, because I know you've got your PC sorted now, haven't you? You're getting your R-Racing and Assetto Corsa and all that stuff. I've priced one up, mate. I can't justify spending that on a game I'll play a handful of times. Can't really justify it. Didn't hear you over Chris's big mouth. That is, yeah, probably, mate. I'm well known for being a shouty bugger. Right, I'm going to sign off here, ladies and gents. I've not talked about him enough, so before I sign off, massive shout out to Bobby, Lightblade 2K18 in the room, who has left the room now. But Bobby, mate, what a stormer. Yeah, worked well with Fraser to pull Burntfly back in, raced really well, didn't let the pressure get to you too much. Kept it clean, consistent. Didn't really see you make any mistakes, to be fair. So, no, spot on, Bobby. Well done, mate. We'll carry this on, but I will be getting into our racing next week. Good man, good man. I know it was expensive, but I've wanted one. Mate, you know what? If you enjoy it and you can justify spending the money on it, do it. You know what I mean? YOLO and all that. Bobby Gray. Yeah, Bobby, well done, mate. I did catch a lot of the action you're involved in. So, well done, mate. I'm going to end the stream here because I've got a few bits and bobs I need to go and do. But thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you all next week. Bye-bye.